Right now, the searching and retrieval process is underway in the Mediterranean. In just the last hour and a half, we learned wreckage from EgyptAir Flight 804 has been found. The debris was located about 180 miles north of the coastal Egyptian city of Alexandria. Good morning, everyone. Egypt's president just released a statement about an hour ago expressing deep sadness and extreme regret over the deaths of 66 passengers and crew members of that downed Airbus.
And we now know searchers have also recovered some passenger belongings in the water. The question remains, what went wrong? Melanie is standing by with the latest information in this investigation, and Nikki will join us with how the disappearance of the plane is impacting the upcoming presidential election here in our country. But we begin with News4JAX aviation expert Ed Booth. Ed, good morning to you, and thanks for joining us. Which parts of the plane do you believe have been found first?
These would be interior parts such as portions of seats, seat cushions, plastic parts, composite parts from the airframe, things that will float, control surfaces.
And how significant do you think examining those will be when it comes to trying to figure out exactly what happened?
The working theory is that this is some type of explosive device, a bomb. There will be signatures on the various pieces of wreckage that would indicate that. We'll tell the investigators quite a bit about the nature of the in-flight breakup.
Have we learned anything about what they've recovered so far, aside from the personal belongings? What size of debris they have found from this airplane?
By all indications, they are very small pieces, which would seem to confirm the theory that this was a catastrophic airframe failure, probably brought on by some sort of explosive device on board the airplane.
And do you, because you've really mentioned that to us when we interviewed you this time yesterday. I mean, you really thought immediately as soon as you heard what happened that this was some kind of malicious act. It banked, we know, 90 degrees and then did a full circle in the air before crashing. What does that reveal to you now, 32 hours later, from what we've heard?
It tells us a sudden event that took the crew by surprise. No way to get a distress call out. Sudden and catastrophic, consistent with an explosive device.
So what will investigators be looking at now, Ed? Will they be looking at where this plane made stops prior to Paris? Will they be looking at, we know they've looked at passenger manifest, of course. What about employees who have had access to this airplane?
They will certainly be looking at those persons who had access to the airplane at the various stops and what they could have brought on board the airplane during those events.
Ed Booth joining us. Thank you very much, Ed. Do appreciate your insight on this. Now, a former U.S. National Transportation Safety Board member believes the plane was brought down, much like we just heard Ed mentioning. Specifically, though, is saying by a bomb. Melanie's joining us now with the latest. Mel?
All right, so the details here, Jen. This morning, France has sent an investigative team to Cairo, which is where the plane was headed, and they are trying to figure out more about what happened. Investigators say, as you mentioned, they have checked the passengers. So far, they have found no hits on any terror watch list. The plane had stopped in Tunisia before landing in Paris, and we know Tunisia is known to be a hotspot for terrorists. We can only imagine that investigators will also take a close look at passengers who boarded there, as well as who might have had access to that plane in Tunis as well as in Paris. Here's what we know about the passengers so far. Most of them are Egyptian. 30 in all, but also on board, you had 15 French citizens, including an infant, along with people from several other countries. And as Ed just mentioned, a working theory is that the plane went down because of a terror attack.
If indeed this was a terrorist attack, this is what we want to know. Did it emanate from Paris? If it did, this will be the first time in 6.5 years where there was a Western European aviation breach of that nature, the last one being the failed Christmas bombing attempt. And we'll know there's a high degree of sophistication if that's the case.
And also more on this timeline, at about 2:30 a.m., shortly before the plane was scheduled to exit Greek airspace, controllers tried to reach that pilot to transfer control over to Cairo authorities. They tried repeatedly, and there was never a response. A short time later, guys, is when this radar lost the plane's signal.